Although this is an upgraded version of the automatic launcher of the flying guillotine. 2 test subjects wearing collars have already stood ready to die. With Sang Biao's order, the flying guillotine launcher started, and the devices in various parts started to operate automatically. The gears of the flying guillotine disc quickly accelerated to the speed of light and flew directly to the prey. The 2 hurriedly fled into the cornfield to avoid it, but the blade was extremely sharp. The corn was cut in half. The 2 ran desperately to save their lives, but the collars on their necks seemed to have a magnetic function. No matter where the 2 ran, the flying guillotine could accurately chase them and would not stop until it flew to the collars on their necks. Seeing that they were in imminent danger, the 2 urgently split into 2 groups, trying to get rid of the flying disc. Unexpectedly, the flying disc had the function of splitting into 2, killing the 2 people respectively. In this way, the 2 not only failed to get rid of the flying disc, but also lost their direction like blind people, collided with each other while running, and were about to be separated from their heads. The 2 of them used their 2 blood drops to collide and destroy each other. They thought they were finally safe, but they didn't know something more terrifying was waiting for them. This was a black technology from the 29th century. As long as the switch was turned on, you could see the last person the dead person saw before his death through his eyes. As the switch was turned on, the image of Sang Biao appeared on the screen. He was a top scientist, but he had recently killed several top scientists in succession. The president knew it was him, but there was nothing he could do, because Sang Biao claimed that he had developed a super weapon that could destroy the world. If the president didn't surrender, he would go to war. Dashan and Xiaobai were ordered to investigate Sang Biao, and soon they sneaked into the ball. It turned out that the real murderer behind Sang Biao was this half-body doctor. Xiaohei quietly followed the doctor into the room, but found that he had integrated Sang Biao to plot to kill the president and replace him. He was about to sneak out to report the news, but he was stopped by a beautiful woman who came in. Just as the beautiful woman was using the beauty trick, the soldier in the portrait behind her actually raised his gun. Fortunately, Xiaobai was able to see and hear everything, so he grabbed the killer and then shot all the killers in a series of shots. Just as he was about to escape, he was surrounded. He was about to be hanged, but at the critical moment, his good friend Dashan drove a carriage to Xiaobai, and he understood what he meant. He immediately grabbed the ring, jumped, and landed steadily on the carriage. Although several people escaped for the time being, but the doctor had made up his mind to start killing all the insiders. Unexpectedly, the first one was his lackey Sang Biao. This was a new type of tank in the 29th century, which could change its shape freely, rotate 360 degrees, and shoot without dead angles. Soon, Sang Biao's men were killed. Sang Biao was instantly dissatisfied. He was loyal to the doctor, but in the end, he was used as a guinea pig for new weapons. To test the power of the weapon. After dealing with the Sang Biao, the tank turned into a train, and he began to head towards the city to assassinate the president and Dashan. When they arrived, they only saw corpses everywhere, and several people hurriedly got on the train to chase. Who knew that just after they passed the tunnel, the bracket behind them turned into a train? This is another invention of the doctor. When Xiaohei and others found that the tank train had appeared behind them, the train tank fired a sword, directly stopped the train, and then released hypnotic gas. When Dashan and Xiaobai woke up, they had collars on their necks. Then the doctor fired the blood drop, trying to kill them. Fortunately, the 2 were smart. Used the canyon to destroy the doctor's upgraded blood drop, and used the magnetic force on it to successfully find the railroad tracks. Following the railroad tracks, the 2 found the doctor's lair, and a strange giant machine suddenly appeared, and the 2 were instantly shocked. It turned out that this was the doctor's superweapon, the spider. He ran straight towards the president. When the president turned around, the spider was close to him and was about to kill him. Fortunately, Dashan and Xiaobai had already boarded the glider and kept dropping nuclear bombs on the spider. Although the spider was organized, the doctor's men turned the Gatling guns madly to attack the 2, and the glider was shot down and fell on the spider's back. At this time, the doctor had red eyes and transformed into a machine, Gu Ao Wu, to personally go on the field, intending to send the 2 to death. Seeing Xiaobai being stepped on, he was about to be sent away by the doctor. At the critical moment, Dashan shot through the fuel tank on the spider's leg, and the spider was stuck on the cliff. Xiaobai took the opportunity to control the mechanism and tried to push the doctor, who had done so many bad things, off the cliff. A crisis was resolved. The 2 were also commended by the president, became city heroes. The story ended here.